Hey guys, super excited because today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful butterfly mosaic. Mosaic is awesome because it's relatively easy to make. You can do this with kids. You can put it anywhere when you're done. You can stick it in your garden. You can stick it in your shower. You can put it as a backsplash. You can give it to your grandma. Handmade mosaics make excellent gifts. And it's pretty straightforward, so let's get to it. These are 12mm recycled glass tiles that I found online. All my source material is below in the comments. These come in beautiful colors and they look a little bit like chiclets. I like gum, so you know, I'm into them. They're about a ½ inch square. For this project, you're gonna want about 900 tiles. I picked out about 8 colors plus white. You're gonna need adhesive. You're gonna need tile nippers. I got a white tile at the Home Depot, 1 square foot for my substrate. You will want some rags, cut up t-shirts fine, and some grout. I use non-sanded disposable bowl and a spatula for stirring. So here is my source image. I found a nice butterfly on the internet, and I'm just tracing it right on my tablet on a piece of computer paper, as you can see. There's a couple different ways to do this, but this way is kind of easy. You could also print an image of a butterfly, and then you cut it out so you have a template. Then you can get your tile ready and some sort of a Sharpie and trace your template. Or if you're doing something other than a butterfly, you can just draw it right on there. And you can be kind of sloppy. It's just sort of a guideline for when you are putting down your tile. You want to kind of have an idea of what you're doing. Okay, here comes the fun part. We're gonna do the tiling. So you put a little glue down. I use a little squeeze bottle just to make it easier. And then lightly tack in your tiles. I did not leave a huge grout gap in these guys, and in fact in some cases they're almost touching. I put them really close together, and so that's just a preference thing. You can kind of decide how close you want them. Next up is a lesson on how to cut your tile. The tile nipper is pretty great. The 2 wheels don't actually touch, so you can't cut yourself with it, and it slices through those tiles just like butter. You just kind of put a little bit of pressure on them and snap, there we go. They kind of like to fly, so I do like to cup my hand around them so they don't whiz all over the room. And safety tip, you might want to wear glasses for this. After I let it dry overnight, I think it would probably be fine in a couple hours. I happen to let it go overnight. I mixed up my grout. Now, the grout, I had 2 colors, white and charcoal, and that was too dark for me, so I wanted to mix them up. The color of the grout before you add water is the color it will dry to. You want your grout to be the consistency of peanut butter, so you really don't need to add that much water. And you do want to stir it for 3 to 4 minutes to really get it stirred up good. After you get your grout the proper consistency, you need to let it sit for about 10 minutes to let it slake. Then it's ready to put on your mosaic. The trick here is you just want to kind of push it into all those grout lines. Push it various directions. You want to use a generous amount and really work it in. The less grout you leave on the surface of the tile, the easier it will be when it comes time to rub it all off. So you start heavy and then smush it all in there and then try to wipe off as much as you can before you let it sit for a couple hours. You have to let the grout set up for an hour or 2 and then come back at it with some of those rags I mentioned earlier. I like to do a mix of dry and slightly damp rags. If you get your rag too wet, it just pulls up too much of the grout and you end up with like grout haze all over everything. So it's kind of better to have just a slightly damp or dry cloth to get some of that gunk up to clear off all of the beautiful tiles. Once you have removed the grout, you are done. Yay! Way to go. There you have it. Butterfly mosaic start to finish. Hopefully you gained some new skills. Thanks for following along, and I'll see you next week. Hello, hello, testing, testing.